Hey guys, out here welding some patch panels in on the Mercury, and I thought this was a good time to share with you some of the things I've learned in my first few months as a novice welder. So here is one patch panel that's been welded in and ground down, and it needs to be welded again and ground down again. And here's one where that process has been done a few times, and that's just about ready. Maybe needs a little bit more grinding, maybe a couple spots you could weld there, but that's pretty much ready to go. And this is what a lot of your welds are going to look like when you guys finish welding it up and grind it down. You're going to notice a lot of little pinholes, so you're going to want to get in there and fill those and then grind it down again, and just keep doing that process over and over again until you get a result that you're happy with. This is my car. This is not like a customer's car, so you know, quality is just as good as I want it to be, so I don't have to worry about. And you know, Bondo's going, you could put Bondo right over that if you wanted to. That's not what I'm going to do, but you could. And then another thing is, you can use a copper bar, like I got this here. As you can see, I've been putting it to use. And Flux core will not weld to that. It'll stick to it a little bit. So if you have a hole like that one right there, that little hole right there, that's a little rust hole, and that rust is pretty much isolated right to that area. I've gotten back in there. This is all treated on the inside here, so I don't have to worry about, you know, there being a lot of rust back there. Like, here's a piece I cut out, and this was the back of it. So this is what it looked like on the front after I ground off the paint and stuff. And I said, okay, gonna have to cut that out because I knew it was gonna look bad on the back. And that was actually this one here. And this, when I cut this out, was full of mud. And I don't mean body filler, I mean mud. I mean leaves and dirt and whatever, decades of stuff that had fallen back in here that's just been rusting away in there forever. So that's all, this is all cleaned out now. The back of it is treated as best as I could. You know, having these two holes here helped me a lot with getting in there and cleaning the back of it. Because if you can't get in there and treat that, you know, you might as well just cut all of this out. And I still have, you know, quite a bit more here that I did have to cut out. I probably could have done another 2 patch panels here, but like I said, I just used the copper to fill those holes. So hopefully, you know, if you're new to welding and you're having some of the same results that I did using flux core on body sheet metal, hopefully these tips will help you out. Another thing also, I found that a lot of times you know what you want to be doing is welding to a weld. Like I had a pretty big gap here, and so what I did actually is I came up with the welder, and then I was using the welder from below like this, and then getting a bead, a molten bead there, and then welding to that bead and welding and using gravity to sort of help me pull that weld down to the bottom corner. So you can fill pretty big gaps by doing that. And you're always going to be better off having your piece a little bit too small rather than too big. Because if it's too big, it's gonna, you know, warp and bust out, and then you're not going to be able to cover it with filler. But if it's too small and maybe even set a little bit farther back, and you know, you want it flush, but you'd rather it be set a little bit farther back than forward, right? So think about these things, you know, try and get it as close as you can, your metal that you're gonna cut. But if it's too small, don't be like, oh, well, that's too small, I can't use it. You can fill gaps, and it's gonna help you a lot to be able to learn to do that, to be able to fill gaps with weld and fill small holes with weld. All right, guys, so if you're learning, if you're new to welding and you wanted some tips and tricks, hopefully these help you out. And if you like these kind of videos, just give me a like and maybe subscribe, and thank you for watching. All right, bye-bye.